Haruka has been cursed. Through the many minds and lives that pervade Raphael's consciousness, it was quick for him to discover the power of this curse. With desperate hope, Tulak aimed to lift the affliction himself, but Belcora's power proved too strong for him to overcome. Deciding to return their not-quite-lost companion to the relative safety of Otari, the heroes deduced the mechanism of the elevator and rode it up the shaft towards this end. Consulting both Warlewin and Vandy about the curse, it is found to be beyond their power as well, and Kruka remained housed in the Dawnflower Library with the still reposed body of Vizek, a brutal reminder of lost friends for Tulak. Deciding to seek out Morlabent for more advice, the heroes found another commotion had been set upon the Otari fishery, and discovered a very cross Temele Tandervale scolding a kobold who had come up through the wall in her basement.
So, the last fight before we lost Kruka, there was some frustration in my voice.
And Kruka lost himself.
Yeah. But there was some frustration on my part just because I don't like fights that turn into random chance. And when there is a fight that turns into random chance, it is incredibly frustrating because at that point, like, do we just want to flip coins and see who wins? Is not exactly my idea of fun. I like probability. Like, I enjoy that fact that we do roll dice and there is an element of chance, but I would like for there to be more of a sense of chance than just whatever fucking, coin flip situation. So I don't know if Freeman even remembers installing this app, but I just have a question for y'all at large. Who do you think is the luckiest person on the podcast?
Well, not Duncan. Well, it depends on how you look at luck. Yeah,
luck
it depends on how you define
the
luck.
highest average dice rolls. So like on a D20 it would be 10.5 or higher. You're luckier.
We're calling luck as in the positive sense, not the Irish sense.
I'd say me.
That's what I was going to say too.
Yep, I think so as well.
Dunk, you got a guess?
I think
no. I really can't say. We've all sucked.
That's fair. It's actually Scoot.
We've all sucked.
Scoot.
Scoot rolls consistently the highest on every single dice roll is above average.
Oh, dice stats. I completely forgot that was installed.
No, I was poking through. I was looking through the modules because I showed up early and Freeman was super late and I was bored. And then I saw numbers and that made me happy. But yeah, Scott is above the average on every dice roll. He and James are tied for the most nat 20s. James is in the lead for the most nat 1s.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was going to say that James is the most swingy.
Yeah. James is definitely the most swingy.
I was going to say, I feel like James is the luckiest, but he's also the one saying the most, Foundry hates me.
Yeah, nary a person can bang out 3 or 4 nat ones in a row like James can.
And
it's
then
a gift.
3 nat 20s in a row the following episode.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Hero point that nat one, another nat one.
yeah.
But yeah, like I like watching dice probability and just things like that. Do you want to take a guess as to who has the worst luck on the podcast?
Is it me?
Duncan.
Is it me?
Scoot, you got one? You got a guess?
Oh, I say Dunk for sure.
Dunk, you got a
Yeah,
guess?
yeah. I don't want to, pile on the pity me party, but god damn, I roll pretty bad sometimes.
Oh, don't worry, you don't have to. I have the worst luck.
Is that
And yet,
adjusted
you've still
for-
been the most efficient.
That's because I stack as many numbers in my favor as I can.
You filthy min-maxer.
But yeah,
The
I
Munchkin
can't look at
ways.
Freeman's. Yeah, yeah. If you're not lucky, you got to make your own. But no, I can't.
'Cause
See
we're talking-
Freeman's
we're
numbers
talking
because
flat.
of Tid. Flat.
We're talking
yeah.
flat roll amounts, not with bonuses, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It is flat roll amounts. It's just the number on the die that pops up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay,
Anyway,
well,
I
I can
can't see
talk
Freeman.
about stacking the deck against myself by making terrible builds.
Well, speaking of terrible builds,
There's nothing wrong with a terrible build if it's fun.
Well, that was a great
James
investigation
knows
into
best.
the numbers that you did there, Cam. I meant officer.
you, listeners, I shaved and I look like a cop, and I hate it. I will
Scott's
was a
just
low
jealous
blow.
that there's another mustache in town.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I've never.
You
been-
look like an extra from like a teen movie that has cops tangentially in it, like Super.
Oh,
You're an extra cop.
Listeners can't see this, but the light just left Cam's eyes.
Police officer number
what
3.
little was left gone.
I had such a good segue because Duncan was talking about his builds, and I was gonna be like, "Oh yeah, speaking of builds," and then just immediately, nah, fuck that. Cam looks like a cop. And it's like, all
You
right.
should know by now, Cam, we
Fabulous.
don't do good segues here on Uncharted North. This is not in our purview or our skill sets. Speaking of when you need a cop, Tamily is now pointing a finger at an intruder in her home. People have piled out of the Otari fishery because of this intense reaction. Tamily is well respected and probably in some ways a bit feared because she's a feisty ex-sailor. And as you push your way through this crowd, more than a few people start to turn their heads a little bit more now, actually taking in a noticing Lump as opposed to Sal. Everyone's been quite distracted. It's night out. It's dark. No one's got a proper glimpse just yet. But suddenly there is a bit of like a shift. But this, shall we say, misshapen creature is with the heroes of Otari. Not recognized, but, there's a pause amongst some of those murmurs for a moment. But as you step through and into the fishery, you see this scene, and Tamily is just like fuming. She's like, "You explain yourself right now! What are you doing in my basement, and why have you knocked through me wall?"
I thought I explained myself quite clearly. What are you talking about?
Duncan, you want to describe the character that we see?
So, the first thing you'll see is a brightly plumed hat, big broad brim. You might see on some swashbuckling adventurer. It's a little bit too big and oddly misshapen because it's pulled over the helmet of some full plate mail, and little gleaming green eyes of a little lizard face. You've got a kobold on your hands, and dressed up. You can see he's kind of trying to dress up like a very flamboyant kind of fighter. He's modeling himself after, I don't know if you've heard of the Firebrands. All of those clothes are stretched over full plate mail, and on his back is a dancing spear, a big two-handed spear that's roughly the same length as his body. He's currently in a very obstinate pose, arguing with Tamily, saying, that wall needed to be knocked down. What are you talking about? Come on, you need services around here, and these services will be rendered whether you like them or not. So he will, seeing the heroes of Otari approaching, he will quickly try to get himself out of this conversation and turn to them. "Oh, Heroes of Otari. Well, it's your lucky day. Mine as well, of course, but it's your lucky day. I see your numbers appear to be a little short, and I know a little short. It's Cobalt Humor, and that one is free. Allow me to introduce myself. And he will pull out a small piece of wood about the size of a business card with a little piece of parchment stretched across it, and made to look professionally done, but clearly hand scrawled is his business card that he hands to the heroes in big glittery letters NIRKA AJ, and then the title below it HERO. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
And
I think that's. Sorry. Go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
How do you pronounce that name?
Oh, interesting.
Why don't you try it? In character.
Hero.
Hello, hero.
Hero protagonist.
And like Lump will hand it over to Raphael. Look, it says it on the card. He must be a hero.
Ruff's not there.
And Lump will turn the card over and show it to Tulok. Look, it says hero on it. Do you think that's his name or his profession?
That's my profession. I'm quite well renowned.
And what is your
I've
name?
Never heard of
creature?
you.
Well, this is a tricky one to get around your, non-dragon tongues, but a dragon tongue like mine would be able to pronounce it quite perfectly. I'll save you the trouble. I'll let you know that the R is a bit silent, and it's based on a renowned performer of my own renown. It is Nick Cage.
You see the light go out of Lump's eye. Never mind. I've changed my mind. I don't want this one.
Send him back. Throw him back.
Send it
I
back.
get that a lot.
Nick Age. Intriguing. What are you doing in Tamili's establishment?
Oh, adventurers wind up places in their adventures. I've been dwelling to underground, fomenting, shall we say, a movement among the kobolds. We'll talk about that later. For now,
Tammy's like,
that.
I'm sorry, what? Kobolds?
No, we'll talk about it later. I said we'll talk about it later, and we'll talk about it later.
Wait, which tribe of kobolds are you with?
Oh, have you not heard of the magnificent stone scales?
Have I, GM?
We can get a society check in here, although I don't know if Lump would have ever. Is Lump familiar with the history of Otari off the top of your head?
Lump has been around for a while and got here before, so like if they've been here for like more than 100 years, maybe, but probably not then.
Okay, roll me society.
All right, I'm gonna roll a society.
See what is recalled in your memory.
Lump has no idea with a 13.
With the 13, you want to throw one at me there, Tulok? Since you're present,
Yeah, what was the check again?
society.
You
Also, Cam,
got
that roll's hidden from me. You have it on self roll.
It's personal.
19.
Yeah, 19 is not great, but I think it'll do since you did finish the Otari lore research, or what have you. The stone scales were the kobolds that eventually took over Otari after the original Rose Guard had died off and the place was abandoned. And then they were eventually ousted by Maklani Menhimes, the descendant of Asefna, and I think the Rajani descendant was there as well. And they eventually ousted from the town because they were using it as like a ghost town front to lure ships in and raid them. And they were basically they were using underground warrens underneath the town as their base of operations. But they were basically kicked out. Kobolds in general are kind of known to cause some trouble around town over the last couple decades maybe, but like lately not so much, especially since the very recent crumbling of the Thirsty Alpaca, which took place about 2 weeks before the adventure started. So it's a fairly recent event where some kobolds were found to have been doing something in the Warrens, and it caused the collapse of the tavern, which resulted in the death of the several patrons and employees, and the owner went missing. No, the owner's body was never found. And that's the last news anyone's has had of local kobolds or possibly stone scales.
Okay, so that changes things a little bit. So, Tulok kind of narrows his eyes at the creature, Nick Age, and says, What do you know? What do you know of the crumbling of a building within Otari? It was said that kobolds were rummaging below. We've been down, but we have not seen you or your kind down there. Tell me what you're looking for, and where were you at this time? A month ago.
Oh, well, the collapsing buildings collapse all the time. Who knows what happens? You know, the shoddy workmanship around here. Who could have been anybody? That said, I was present at the time of the collapse of the Thirsty Alpaca.
Okay. Nice. And what was your role?
My role was but to witness. I came to spread the good word. We kobolds have had it too bad for too long. We don't have to take it anymore. And damn it, we can get angry. But, you know, once you make those walls start shaking, sometimes the roof collapses, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Hold
So did you
on.
put a hole?
Yeah, to confirm, are you saying that you were a part of the purposeful knocking down of this building, which resulted in the deaths of several members of this town?
Tamley is just going pale at the very mention or the idea of it, because her whole establishment was obviously Warren's below. She's like,
I apologize. I apologize that you so deeply, deeply misunderstood me, my friend.
Yes,
But it was but an accidental collapse in the invigorating of a public soul. Such things are but a side effect of a new movement coming to town.
I see. It might be best if you come with us and get out of here right now.
It was to this I was about to offer my prodigious services.
Mm-hmm. Is this a sending of an envoy, so to speak?
Oh, I am not an envoy to the kobolds or of the kobolds. I am an envoy of a message of equality and a message of peace. A message that might have to come at the end of a spear. But that end of a spear is now offering its services to you. So the peace of this town is tantamount, and dealing with this business at the Gauntlet is more pressing than ever. I offer my services to you now, and then, once this is all taken care of, I will return to my mission. I will return as the savior of the kobolds. I will be the most magnificent leader that equality has ever seen.
so you mean to tell me there's a whole bunch of kobolds down in me basement right now that are gonna raid the town or collapse me shop?
No.
Like,
no.
Tamley's only
They're-
half listened to what you said because it's a lot of vibrato, and that she's more concerned about her business than anything.
They're down there planning to make sure nothing like the Thirsty Alpaca happens ever again. They endeavor to do nothing but make sure that no buildings collapse under the weight of their prodigious might.
So you're saying they're on our side? I thought they were trying to rebel or something. I'm getting mixed signals here.
Tulok is looking around at the kind of the temperature of the crowd here, and if it's anything like Scott thinks, it's probably not moving in a good way. So
It's really weirdly stagnant right now. It's just like stock still, confused at the situation. Still some murmurs and eyes on Lump. So it's there's too much happening at once that they haven't had a chance to like mob respond yet.
Tulok looks over his shoulder at Lump and gives them a nod and says, "We should get out of here. Let's grab the kobolds."
Come on, bud.
Tamley kind of, you've spoken a couple times now, and Tamley turns to you, Lump, and kind of just like gives you a look and just says, "Sal?"
Yes and no. I am Lump. I'm sorry for meeting you in a form of disguise. I wasn't sure if the town would accept me, and I had been a little bit ostracized before in the past, so once again I do apologize for the deception.
She takes a moment, kind of looks away, takes a moment to kind of process that very quick explanation, and just sort of nods her head, you know, kind of chewing on the inside of one cheek kind of thing, and kind of looks up at you with like a knowing look, gives you a little wink, and says, we've all got our secrets and our pasts, Lump. And she turns to the... Oh, you had...
Yeah, just Lump blinks. They can't blink. None of the stories I told were false, just my appearance.
I understand. She turns to the crowd and says, all right. The heroes of Otari are going to handle the matter from here on out. Make way for them and their new friend here. And for the love of all the gods, someone get Gregory in here now. I have to talk to him about his work on me shoddy wall in me shoddy basement because it collapsed again. And then she just starts and then some of the fishers start running around and people pour in a little bit again. And the bartender gets back to work and she just starts whipping everything into shape. It doesn't matter that it's night now. Business is back and she's got some bones to pick. Because under no circumstances was that wall supposed to come down again.
It was like that when I got there. I walked right through it.
Yeah.
Right, that's enough. Let's go.
People take a bit of a wide berth from both this new kobold and Lump, but they don't bat too many eyes at it. You know, they're going to follow the lead of the very powerful Tamily Tandervale here. But you can expect a great amount of rumor and gossip to follow this event.
So, spiriting the two of them away, Tulok turns to Nick. Nick turns to Nick Cage.
Nirkaj.
Nick Cage.
Let's just for legal purposes, let's say it's actually Nirkaj. But everyone has a speech impediment for the name.
So other than breaking down walls, what can you do with that spear?
Oh, I can do many a good thing. I've fought. Have you not heard of me? My name's Nick Cage, for God's sakes. I slew beasts up and down Galarian. I'm the pride of Absalom. Have you not heard of me?
I have not.
I tamed the shrew of Jelliax.
Oh goodness. That is truly a tremendous feat.
They call me Nick the Impaler.
What do you impale?
Oh, no. Dunk's found a new bit. No.
What don't I impale?
Lump looks nervous.
Have you ever seen a pincushion? Well, no one had before I got to it.
Lump's face goes pale, like, oh goodness.
And tell me what you know about the gauntlet, then.
Oh,
Claim
of
to
that I know.
understand.
Of that I know not much. I've heard whispers of you, the heroes, and I figured you could use my help. My interests are more within the realm of the kobolds. We hear whispers. We hear creaks. We hear crackling in the dark, but we aren't part of the larger problem. We aren't part of the bigger picture. I want to be part of that bigger picture.
Well, it does so happen that we do need assistance. And although I find you dubious, perhaps you could help, as we need all the hands we can get right now. We will take your spear.
And he just...
He's jazz hands at me?
Yeah, just... I got two hands right here. Kind of motion.
No.
Okay, so we've come back into town, deposited Krucka, taken on Nick Cage, and...
Hey, Ruff, you're still with Krucka? Is that right? At the Dawnflower?
No, he was he never made it into town. He was with Whirlwind at the Stone Ring. Yeah.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Can you remind me, do we need to rest?
Yes,
I don't know how
we
your
do.
spell slots look.
We haven't rested yet, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, we were supposed to go back to rest.
Yeah, it's about 7:15 at night right now.
Okay.
So, where is this Kraka? I hear he has prodigious strength himself. There was a small dancing gnome who let me know of the party's makeup. It seems to have changed.
So you've met Glash.
Yeah.
Oh, was that his name? I
Kraka
could
was-
only remember the rhythm of his feet.
The rhythm of the night.
Goddamn. Yes, he was afflicted by a spell, a curse from a powerful spellcaster named Belcora. We can fill you in on the rest, and just lore dump.
Yeah.
And verbal diarrhea.
We stay up all night telling him ghost stories.
And then fade in. Ooh, fascinating. Truly fascinating.
And there's this poet, Augrael.
Oh, I'd like to hear some
yeah.
of his poetry right now.
Perhaps.
And then they met me.
Perhaps you even get really excited when you hear that they actually met the ghost of Otari, who was an actual hero.
What are you trying to say?
Or maybe
What are you
you have
implying
no
yeah,
idea
that's just a dick thing to say.
who the Rose Guard is.
Real backhanded
throwing it
compliment there.
I'm just saying he hasn't proved himself yet. That's all.
I do like to
It
admit.
kind of sounded like you were saying the rest of us.
I see. That's not what I meant,
Yeah.
but I can see how you would have interpreted that.
Oh, you met a ghost, did you? So he died.
Yeah, but then he came
Not
back.
impressed at all.
But not with his body, just the soul part.
Ooh.
Yeah, he sounds a lot like that.
So you have met him. Okay, let's get this back on the rails here. Nick Cage really threw me for a friggin' loop.
Now I'm done.
Okay. Now, I feel like we might have ruined the place that you were going to sleep tonight there, Lump. Perhaps we need to find somewhere else to crash, and we could do our lore dump for Nick Cage. Perhaps we just go out to spend time with the druids and with Ruff out at the Standing Stones.
Would Galentine's delivery still be open real quick, Freeman?
Maybe. What are you looking for?
I just want to drop off a note.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, Lump will I just need to make a quick detour to Galentine's. I want to do something to be able to help us a little bit if things keep going the way they have been. And Lump is going to go to Galentine's and slip her, I don't know, like 10 gold and a note and ask for it to be reproduced and posted in Absalom.
Oh.
Okay. So you're asking, we're going to write a note and ask it to be posted in Absalom? Or
Yeah,
posted
just-
to Absalom?
Yeah, posted in Absalom. Like, I assume they have like quest boards and stuff because of the
Okay.
Pathfinder
Oh,
lodges. So
okay.
yeah,
Right. Oh, I
basically
think you
Lump
mentioned
is
before.
trying to find a way to get like reinforcements if, things keep going this way. Like we can't keep relying on kobolds coming out of warrens.
You're
and
posting
just-
a call to
Yeah.
heroes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, there's plenty of
To
them.
adventurers, yeah. Okay.
No, that
maybe
would
make
be
a note
too
here.
silly. But maybe if there was one, they could be Yanni Deep. Yanni Deep.
Cut the mic, cut the mic.
Yanni Deep.
The Rock.
just the Rock.
Okay, so they head out of town and approach. God, what is this place called? I just call it the Standing Stones. The Whispering Pool. What is it?
The Stone Ring Pond.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
The Druid Hole.
The Whispering Eye.
You can just hover over the tree there, and the name will pop up.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to have fun.
How dare you?
Okay, so they approach, and what is Raphael up to?
He's hurrying back into town to get you guys and Kruka to bring them back to the Stone Ring Pond.
Oh, fancy that.
Yeah, so last episode, Warlowind assured Raphael that they could care for Kruka outside of town, away from prying eyes, as to not incite another mass panic before the gauntlet goes off. So his objective now is to go get y'all and Kruka and make sure Kruka is taken care of outside of Otari as Warlowin puts out information or puts out feelers to try and get more stronger healers, somebody who could try and break the curse.
Raphael, is that you? He sees a tiny little Shuni running down the path in the moonlight.
Sage. Lamp. This is not Kruka.
No,
This
of course.
is Where is Kruka?
Oh, because we left Kruka at the Dawnflower?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
Kruka's at the
pretty sure you did.
Dawnflower. Perhaps we should head around outside of town and move him through the darkness through the graveyard, as to not arouse suspicions.
Yeah, so Ruff will give an info dump and then he will agree to that, catch them up on what he was doing with Warlowin, and they will go acquire the, I guess, shell of Kruka and then return to the Stone Ring Pond with them and their, I guess, all their gear, and explain to Vandy what's happening.
Yeah, I think Vandy's chill.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Vandy is the go-to place for, taking care of lost heroes, however they've been lost. Yeah, might be a good time to consider. This is a kind of a weird one. It feels less filthy, but still kind of invasive. Time to consider what kind of gear you want to strip off Kruka. Not a dead body, but some pretty valuable items there that could be put to
yeah.
use.
There's nothing that I really
I put a
want.
list in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I just wouldn't feel right blasting a Ring of the Ram off of anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really don't see. Does anybody have crafting? Is that the new weak spot in our
It
party limit?
is. That's what I've been trying to figure out in the background. I have the highest crafting at 4, but if we get the superior repair kit and a crafter's eyepiece, I mean that'll put Ruff up to 6, and I can
I don't
can
think they
burn
stack.
my next level to get
His
trained
item.
in it.
Yeah, I don't think they stack his item bonus though.
Yeah, item bonuses probably wouldn't stack. I mean, realistically, crafting for you guys, you're not really actually crafting anything. So most it's going to be like recall knowledge moments or
Repair.
trying to figure out some sort of device or repair if you need to.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
big one. But we'll
Big
see.
ones to repair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also the skittering mask is very valuable. The bracelets of dashing, the Aeon Stone, those are all quite precious. I would
Yeah,
say.
and
Not to mention the weapons with
potentially the
silver,
silver
and ghost
hatchet.
touch. Yeah. Plus one striking composite longbow. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, personally, there's not anything that I'm really like, oh, I want this because, I mean, Lump has everything.
Like for
we
Lump
need to-
particularly, yeah.
Yeah, like Lump just doesn't need any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess Nick could use the bracelets of dashing.
And the Wayfinder, dude. Don't leave that
I-
on the table.
Get that stone.
Yeah. And the
Right,
stone,
the
Aeon
healing.
Stone, yeah.
That lifting belt is solid if anybody's strength based.
the only thing I mean, I'll take the Ring of the Ram.
Please.
Yep,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
I'll take the energy robe and the crafter's eyepiece, I think.
Bracelets of dashing to Nirkaj.
You can say it with
say
the
it
R, but you have
properly.
to say it like that.
Every time. To Ruff, we're tossing the energy robe.
Oh, hold still, big fella, while I take these bracelets
What
off
else did
ya.
you want
And
there,
the
James?
eyepiece, please.
And the eyepiece. Do you want the repair kit too?
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever one's the lightest.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize there was 2 there. I think
Oh,
they're
it's
both.
fine. They're both
one
the
bulk,
one
yeah.
bulk. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Weapons.
I mean, I don't need any of them.
I am ready to just move on.
Someone needs to take the Wayfinder,
We
though.
can come back to it. It's not the most interesting content. Oh yeah, the
We'll
Wayfinder.
give the Wayfinder to Nikaj.
Nakash just like rolling in as the new member and just getting just pumped full of magic items.
Oh, well,
how is
quite
this go down? Let's do
honestly,
that.
like,
I want to
like,
see that.
Lump is having a small like fan person moment. They don't really understand why. It's just like a mixture of cute kobold and poofy clothing combined with like absolutely charming ass. Like this little creature just busted through a wall and managed to talk their way away from the proprietor and into our hearts. So like Lump, I feel like the fact that, you know, Tamily just like let him go, like why wouldn't Lump just be like instantly, you know,
Right.
on board? Like Lump's just taken with it. He's just a little
Okay.
guy.
Yeah.
He's just a little guy.
I almost love the idea of like you're getting back to the Dawnflare library, and they're like, okay, you know, this is who you're replacing, and it's almost like it's an odd thing, and then like, you know, and Tamley's kind of already like kind of stripped Krucka down, put him in some robes, and you can see Krucka actually maybe oddly to everyone when you see Krucka who can perfectly stand and walk around and respond to some stimuli. Seems to constantly be rocking gently back and forth in their posture and their stance. And even they sit down, there's this rocking kind of to the left and to the right. And it moves around. It's not perfectly left and right. It's a little bit, you know, kind of wavy and back and forth as well. And there's this constant subtle movement happening.
As if he's on a boat at sea.
As if he's just, basically. Yeah, as if he's just staring into space. And why did you say that, Scott?
Because of his backstory.
Hero point.
Hey, I'll take it. All right. It sounds like ill-gotten
You just said because it
gains, but-
reminded me of boats, I wouldn't have given you one. Yeah, I can see like, you know, so all the equipment's been stripped off and set aside, and you know, I can almost see this like moment with Lump being like, you know, finding this kobold really endearing and be like, you should try this. This would work for you. You should try this. Kind of handing it out like it's like a almost a little novelty, if that's something you think would happen there, Cam.
Nick doesn't even really take this kind of seriousness of the gear so much as, ooh, yes, I will take this. Yes, I love this. Wait, you're just giving me all this stuff, eh? Okay, I'll take it.
Tulok's kind of eyeing up the situation and, you know, just seeing someone who's Lump, who is new to the group but has clearly proven themselves, and then a newcomer, Nick Cage. And I think that, but Tulok is not hesitant to take on new members potentially because, you know, he knows what's at stake. He knows that they need the backup. You know, it's just another kind of changing of the guard for him. So he's watching that. As he picks up the Ring of the Ram, he does approach Krucka and kind of takes Krucka's massive hand into his rather delicate looking half-elf hand and puts his other hand on top and says, I've borrowed something from you. The Ring of the Ram. You've used it so many times so well. I hope to do the same, and I will give it back to you as soon as you are back with us. Be at peace, my brother. And takes a step away.
So you have this sort of like almost whimsical interaction happening, and then suddenly there's this like very personal, serious moment that's happening right next to you, Lump and Ruff and Nirgash. Because I mean, it's certainly most things these days weigh heavy on Tulok's heart and mind.
And yeah, I think with that, they have to lead Krucka back and head towards the Stone Ring Pond.
Nick just kind of, as he's walking away, takes a glance over his shoulder at Krucka, who is, you know, over twice as tall as him. Just like an empty shell. He doesn't seem as impressive as, you know, the tales he heard from an energetically dancing little deep gnome in the dark.
Yeah.
Kind of sad as he walks away, and he gets an idea that he might be in a little bit over his head, which is already pretty low to the ground.
All right, so you head back to the storing pond, and you're going to rest here. You can pull out your bedrolls. It'll be reasonably comfortable, if not entirely sheltered, but you're going to rest here.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Away from prying eyes and all together.
All right, what time do you want to set back out? It's, again, we'll call it closer to 8:30 now at night. How long do you want to rest?
8 hours.
Yeah. No guard needed.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna get up in the middle of the night kind of thing and head back in.
Time don't matter in the gauntlet, baby.
It's all dark down there.
All right. So just for ease of it, I'll move this forward to, we'll call it with extra preparations and stuff. So maybe a quarter after 4 a.m. as you get up, as you get your wake up call from one of the druids, and you head back in. You're heading back down to where you were, I suppose. Head to the prison level with the teleporter, and then down the elevator. Okay.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Void Bracken. Is it not there because the necromantic light is on again? Okay, hold on. I know you can't answer this.
Void Glutton.
Void Glutton.
Void Glutton. Not
What did
Void
I get?
Bracken. Okay.
Oh, is the Bracken from the planet?
Void Bracken is like
Void
the
Bracken is the
world.
plane.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the world or planet or whatever that, Nibeleth is supposed to dwell on.
Void Glutton. Because I was just thinking about this the other day, why it wasn't there, and when the light wasn't shining, it was there, and when the light was shining, it was gone. And that's the only thing I can think of so far. Anyways.
Yeah, you're right. I can't answer that question, in detail, because obviously I can't tell you where it is and
Just
why it's there. If
keep
it's
that in
there
your
at
pocket
all,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For potentially 3 hero
Yeah.
points.
Yeah. There's a correlation there that you've maybe picked on, but correlation is not causation, as we all know. So,
As Denzel Washington once said, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Okay, so you head back down to the next the floor, the level 8 floor. I don't know why I changed, and you're gonna head.
If you're gonna do it.
Let's stick with this Scottish guy. I like where this is going.
Oh, there's a dwarf in the story?
Yeah. Where do you? I'll bring you to the old farm level here, and I'm gonna take Kruka off the map, and for the very first time, put on our new kobold friend.
This is my least, can I just say also, this is my least favorite farm I've ever been to.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's totally fair. So where do you want to go? You come down the elevator, you kind of look around at your surroundings again. You're on the edge of this lake with the docks and the boats, of course. There are these, if you take a moment to look through the fog, you can see, I'm just going to re-describe some of this. Obviously, it's very fetid, kind of swampy underground lake. There is, you're surrounded kind of by cages. You've killed some creatures inside of them. If you look to the northwest, you can see an alcove, a sort of elevated alcove off the that's kind of like naturally carved into the stone that goes like it's like right next to where the lake kind of makes a turn and bends to the west. To your immediate west, there's also a door that I don't think you've ever inspected. To the south of that is a cage next to another single door. And to the northeast, you can see a cave that leads, a narrow cave that leads further into the stone. But it's attached to like a land bridge to an island with a big empty cage on it. And then, of course, you can head south where you originally had found the tools and went through a door there. And to the south, before you got to where the tool eggs were, to the west of that southern portion, there is another single door. So you have lots of strange options here and potentials. Do you want to just head back to where you were last and continue investigating that direction, or do you want to try something new?
I think from a tactical perspective, it may be best to secure the area right here. So if there's any doors nearby, we should check those first.
I agree.
I'd also like to cast Heroism to bolster the spirits of both Raphael and our new friend Nick Cage. If I do so, I would like to move quickly until the magic wears off before we investigate anything else. Is that amenable to everyone?
It makes me nervous, but I understand why. Let's also keep our eyes open for a teleportation circle. It'll help us move quickly through this area if we need
Of
to
course.
make retreat.
And if there is something that we think is important enough to stop, then yes, we will stop and check. But I'm just advocating for doing a couple quick doors real quick and then coming back to see what we find after.
Lead the way.
Understood. I'm an expert at being heroic already, but I appreciate the guidance. Not guidance as, you know, well, haha, little
Oh,
more
you want
co-op
guidance
humor
too
there.
now?
Lump will go ahead and cast Heroism on both the Bashers.
Okay. So you're heading to the sort of the western side here. As you kind of look down towards the southern western door, you notice the other one that's farther to the west. There is a sign. It's like sort of. It actually looks more like a makeshift barricade of wood and iron straps once you get closer, and there is a sign on it with some words, but I don't know if anyone reads this language actually. Let me just double check your languages. No one reads this language.
And it's written down, you said?
Yeah, there's like a sign with like writing on it in a language that no one here speaks.
Okay. Ruff will step up to said sign and reach out his left hand, which is covered in these random, almost flaming orange glyphs, and he will command these glyphs to come alive, and they start jumping around across his hand and his knuckles until they finally settle in a legible position. And he's using one of his equipment abilities called reading glyphs. So they look like knuckle dusting tattoos until he presses his fingertips to any language and encrypted. So essentially, he can run his fingers across the text to translate it.
Cool.
That's so
a
fucking
tattoo?
sick.
How often
Yeah.
can you use that?
I think it's just once a day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once a day.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool. That is a neat little thing. Yeah, okay, so you run your fingers over and like these glyphs, and like for a moment these letters rearrange just for your vision, and it simply says, "Danger. Do not open."
Danger. Do not open.
Perhaps we should come back to this. It could be something that would help us, but also could be something that would kill us. I say we stick with Lump's plan for now.
Very well. And Lump will move to the door to the south and wait for Nick Cage and Ruff to move closer.
Nick will follow scouting.
Tulok will avoid notice.
Ruff will follow detecting magic. Can you move me on the map? I'm still preparing my spells. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Oh, by the way,
shield up. Yeah.
My spell for my daily spell thing, which now I'm blanking on what it's called.
Evolution.
Thank you. Is Phantasmal Treasure.
Phantasmal treasure. I don't know what that is.
Well, maybe you'll find out. And maybe
All
you won't.
right. Okay, so you go up to the door. You get yourselves lined up. What do you do, Lump?
Ruff, can you get behind me? Just right behind me. The less you have to move, the better. And Lump will then just kick open the door. Yeah, just gonna send it.
Okay. You kick open the door to a room that has 4 small reclining couches circled around a small table in the corner in this like sort of L-shaped room. And on the table is an elongated game board split into rows of squares, and various pieces sit on the board. and there are pyramid-shaped dice scattered across the surface. And as soon as you open it, there are these undead children creatures that you just fought, and like one of them's like about to roll some dice, and you just like and they go and like one of them just like jumps up and like hits the game board, and it goes flying, and they just like have a moment where they're just stunned, and
They're playing
and
5e. Kill them.
one of them looks a little bit different than the others. So these are the ones that you were fighting before, and then this one has a little extra something to it. It just looks a little bit beefier and a little bit more bold, and it's got that extra pizzazz. And they all just sort
David
of
Lynch's.
like, you surprise them and they jump out of their chairs and they just turn, and one of them just goes, oh wait, let me see what languages they speak here. Oh yeah, one of them starts to speak in a language pointing at the game board that just fell to the ground and all the pieces went scattered. It was like, blah, 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 and just starts yelling at you, and we're gonna roll for initiative.
Oh, hey kids, what you playing?
Let's see what we got. Let's go with the brand new character who I forgot to change the name properly, so it says Duncan's Kobold in the initiative.
He's all mine. He's my little fella.
Well, yeah, what did Nirkaj get?
11 on the die for 29.
Whew, that's
Quite
not too bad.
Middling.
29 still feels like a high number.
Yeah. Well,
Lump?
17 for a 33.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Tulak?
A below average 5 for a 19.
Okay, Rough?
23.
23. Okay, we are all set. Let me just double check our rules on this aura, because you know how good I am at those. Creature that begins its turn. Lump, you begin your turn. Top of the order. Roll me a fortitude save, please.
11 for a 26.
Sadly, that would have succeeded previously, but for right now, in this moment, against these creatures, it does not.
Okie doke.
You are unable to speak or breathe as water begins to fill your lungs.
Cool.
It is called Breath of the Bog, and the creature can still hold its breath and attempt a new save at the end of its turn. I don't think we ever came across that. We actually did this before. I think you all succeeded it a whole bunch. So you start your turn, you're unable to speak or breathe.
Good thing I cast those preparatory spells. Is my turn?
Yep.
All right,
What do you
Lump's gonna move on in, making some room, and then free
If
action. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to be that guy, but
ahead.
if you wait, I have something that will counteract that, I believe. If you need it to.
I don't need to. I'm just walking in and
Okay.
tripping, so I'm not casting any spells. I appreciate it though. Lump is gonna walk in, arm changes into a morning star, and they're going to go ahead and attempt to trip the one to their south that looks like the more pizzazz one, the more special one, and make an athletics check. That is a 4 on the die for a 23.
That is a failure.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and re-roll that with a hero point. That is a 10 on the die for a 29.
That is a success.
All right.
Okay. So the beefier one is prone.
And then I'm going to go ahead and I'll raise a shield. And that is my turn.
Okay. Duncan's Kobold is up.
Nick, hearing the call of action, strides into the room to the west of the now prone zombie child.
Zombie child creature.
And with a flourish of his two-handed striking roding dancer spear, he will strike out with a 4 on the die for a 25.
I'm afraid that won't hit.
Okay, well, I don't want the first one to be that embarrassing, so I'm going to use a hero point.
Okay.
6 on the die for 27.
That hits.
Hell yeah.
While they're, prone.
Well, yeah, I assumed it. 13 piercing, please.
Okay. 13 piercing. Sweeping in with a stab. What else you got?
And then third action. Jeez, I'm a fighter now. I got so much things I can do. Actually,
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. It's a fighter.
Hey.
for the third action, I'm going to use an advantageous assault.
Okay, what the hell is that?
So, after compromising your enemy's movement, you deliver a more deadly blow. Make a strike against a creature that is grabbed or prone or restrained. You gain a circumstance bonus damage to the strike equal to the number of weapon damage dice. That number +2 if you're wielding the weapon in 2 hands.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. So on your character sheet, you can roll the attack roll, and there's a little like tick box at the top. You can just click that when you roll your damage, and it'll calculate for you.
Okay, so third action, I guess, is going to be a strike with a map -5 and an advantageous assault. A 24 to hit, I think we can assume that does not.
You're not getting any bonuses to the 2 hit, just the damage, right, with that. So that fails, yeah. But you have a failure effect on that, too.
Failure, you deal damage to the target equal to the number of the weapon damage dice, or that number +2.
If you're wielding a weapon in 2 hands. Oh, 4. You just get 4 damage. That's
Free 4.
all right.
So you still like
That's
graze
some
it or
swashbuckler
something?
shit right there. That's awesome. Okay, sweet. Came in, stabbed, tried to stab again, didn't quite get it, but still managed to graze this creature. Not a
Save.
bad start for the new character. That's your turn?
Did you roll the
Oh, yeah. Roll me a fortitude save.
Why don't you roll yourself
forgot to do that.
fortitude save?
Rude.
I just have a question about the backswing trait on the.
It would be
On
a
the old-
+1 to hit.
So did that already get calculated into the?
No, that won't get automated. You have to keep track of that.
Okay, so.
But
I
a
guess it would've
25 would not have hit.
been- yeah, it still wouldn't have mattered. But okay,
Yeah.
just good to know that, anyways.
Yeah,
that you
good to
have
keep
the
an eye on
backswing.
that for sure. You also have sweep. That's a wicked weapon you got there.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I also made my fortitude save for the end of turn, got a 24, so still
24, still can't breathe, and yeah. So I imagine you come in probably trying to yell something heroic, Duncan, but you can't because you rolled a 19 on your. Oh no, you rolled a will save. You roll me
Yeah,
a
sorry, I
fortitude.
screwed that up.
Yeah.
Fortitude, I got a 27.
Also a fail. So you go in, you come in probably trying to scream something, and just like water starts coming into your mouth. You can't breathe or talk.
It's okay, I'll save you.
Basically, yeah. Okay, next up is the one you've been trying to beat down, and it is going to. Let's see here. Fighter, and cleric. All of my goodies here. I don't like it at all. It's going to it's kind of like I'm screaming in some weird language, and it's like just this hoarse kind of like bubbly sound coming out of its throat, and it's like real angry, laying on the ground and on this like chair that it was like just popped up from. And it's going to point a finger at Lump because Lump just tripped it. And I need you to roll me a fortitude save as I cast a spell from the ground here.
Dunk, you want to reactive strike that?
Yep, yeah, I do. Reactive strike there, Freeman.
Thanks. Go ahead and roll that attack roll.
38.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
On no.
Oh yeah, this guy
Suck it, Burn.
swing real good.
That's a crit, and it interrupts my action because that's what reactive strike do on a crit. So roll me some crit damage as this spell miserably fails in this moment.
And Nick just gets this flash of insight that says in his brain, like screaming, "Suck it, Burn." 30 piercing.
30 piercing. Okay, and what else do you
And-
have on a critical hit there? As I can see
this-
it in the chat.
Is so I mentioned earlier that it's a rooting dancing spear. So when you critically hit a target with this weapon, roots grow from the target. It's immobilized for 1 round.
Come
What?
on.
That's so fucking sick.
Don't
gotta
forget your
joke
spear
it.
specialization.
And yeah, and just clumsy 1 for as long as the immobilization lasts, and then the criticalization specialization on the spear target is clumsy 1, so extra clumsy.
Okay,
It
can't
doesn't
can't
stack, it
stack the
doesn't
clumsies,
No, it
but
doesn't stack,
yeah, still ridiculous. So clumsy 1 and immobilized. What the shit? Oh no, fighter territory. This is bad news bears for me. Okay.
Fuck them kids.
Wow, you fucked that guy up. So he's oh my god, he's immobilized. And can I even stand up when immobilized, or am I stuck in my? No. Ah, that is the worst. Okay, he's just going to like willy-nilly try and throw a punch at you in response, Dunk. Natural 20.
Well, that's
Saucy.
gonna hit.
He got you right in the cloaca, my friend.
Ow, my cloaca. My 1 weak spot.
Reach.
Right in the
Reaches
giblets.
up with a fist as you interrupt the spell. Ah! Boom! Hits you for 46 bludgeoning damage.
What
Pardon?
the fuck?
Not
hit
messing
hard.
around.
Did you
But that's all I
max
guess
roll
for this
that?
turn.
What the fuck?
I got a 2d10. I got an 8 and a 7. Thing be angry. All right, that's the end of its turn though. Oh, I could have got so much more off. Ruff, what do you got? This is brutal.
Is the aura when it starts its turn in the aura, or when it
Yeah,
moves
when you start your
into the aura?
turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, yeah, Dunk, roll me another fortitude because it's the end of your turn. You can try and shake this off.
22.
No dice. Ruff.
Do
roll me
drowning
that
rules
fortitude.
apply for this?
They kind of do, yeah, because you can still hold your breath, but your lungs are filled with water, so technically you would be drowning.
Okay, because that makes a pretty big difference on how long we can hold our breath.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm in the aura currently, is what you're saying.
It's a very big aura, yep.
Okay. Fort?
It's 30 feet. Fortitude, please, yeah.
22.
Fail.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try that again.
Okay. It's pretty clutch for
Ruff
Ruff
will
here.
spend his reaction to go back in time and turn back the clock. So I get to retry with a +1 bonus. So that's 32.
That succeeds. You are temporarily immune for 24 hours.
Okay. And that burns his reaction, but his first action, he will stride into the room. Second action and third action, he will spell strike.
Okay. That hero point was clutch there, wasn't it?
28 to hit.
That hits. Oh, I'm scared. It's makes so much damage. What are you spell striking with?
Yeah, so Ruff, having encountered these kind of creatures before, he knows that they're kind of resistant to fire. So he has pulled out his one of his feats is this like spell. What is it called? It's called Spirit Sheath. So it gives him a place to hide his weapon, and part of that act, if he chooses to spell strike first, he can draw as part of the spell strike to reduce his action
Okay.
economy. So
Yeah.
Ruff steps into the room, and this sword shoots out of his sleeve, just covered in rime, as he pushes it through this this creature.
Okay.
So that's 20 points of piercing and 12 points of cold.
Oh, okay. So you basically have spell strike quick draw is what you're saying. If you spell strike, you can quick draw at the same time.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I
it
love
looks
It's
real
so much more
weird that I took
badass.
this feat. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
took this feat at 8th level, and it looks real weird because it's a first level feat, but it's because of that quick draw aspect that I took.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, you slash this guy and hit it with frost, and you can see the frost like starts to freeze up some of like the weird sort of like soggy bits of this creature, and it doesn't like that at all. You definitely got some extra damage there, hit a weakness. You can tell right away.
Remember, they do not like fire, but apparently They hate ice.
Wicked. And I'll give you a hero point for remembering that and just go in the opposite direction. Why not?
Sweet, thank you. I
love
didn't
it.
remember. I went through my notes the second they showed
I
up.
mean, that's just as good, right? Like, taking notes, baby. I'm terrible at notes, so kudos to you for doing it. Okay, that's your turn. Roll me another. Oh no, you don't need to roll a fortitude. You're good. Okay, so one of these other little children zombies in the back now is gonna kind of step forward across the scattered game board and pieces on the ground, real angry, kicking some of the pieces away, and is going to try and throw a punch at Lump. 18 to hit.
That's a critical miss.
Oh, I think I forgot something here, but let me just roll through another attack here. Not going to work. I think I definitely forgot something here from that punch. I do need another fortitude from Duncan.
32.
Because that punch... Never mind.
Yeah, that punch
Thanks
was
for nothing.
pretty hard, but only,
Tulok,
only in the HP.
You're up.
Okay.
There, you have no curses on your cloaca for the moment.
Yeah, but I can't see shit in that room, so I do
You
have
cannot.
to step to the
Roll me a
south.
fortitude. You're in the aura.
What was the pass before? Okay, well, I got a 29. How about that?
You're good. Oh, damn it.
Thank God. I was like checking all my things to see what didn't have a verbal component, and it's tough out there.
I just didn't want to track it, so
So
that's way smarter.
Tulok steps to the south, or actually is going to stride to the south 10 feet, so you can see everyone in the room, and will, using his mind, hurl the pieces of the game at this piece of shit strong looking one with telekinetic projectile.
The one on the ground just pinned and rooted and just fucking flailing.
That is
Kill
going to
that
be
one.
oof. That is a 3 on a die for a 20 to hit, so we know that's not going to go. You know what? We're all using hero points. Me too.
I was gonna say everyone's using one this round.
27.
That hits.
Hey.
20 points of bludgeoning.
Oh, okay. Good old hit there.
And that's me.
Awesome. Next up is the other child creature who is already next to Lump and is going to, just sort of mindlessly start tossing some punches. 31 to hit.
That'll hit.
You're going to take 9 bludgeoning and give me a fortitude,
I'm
please.
going to block that. Nope.
Bastard. So, no damage?
I have a hardness 14. No damage.
Damn it. Hardness 14.
Nice.
Oh my god. Okay. Another strike comes in. 23 to hit. Followed by a 9. Just like, dong! And then once you block it, just dong, 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 just starts trying to pummel you and just hitting the shield. Top of the round, it's back to you, Lump.
All right. Lump, seeing that one prone and rooted, is just gonna fucking laugh and and we'll go ahead and
Just imagine the eyes going like this, like flashing, like when
The
you're laughing.
mouth, yeah.
The eye sockets, the mouth eye sockets.
yeah, is gonna go ahead and just trip this other one because people on the ground is great. That is a 37 against your reflex save.
Okay.
Reflex DC.
Which one did you go for?
This one right to my
Oh,
east.
the one that just tried to punch you 3 times and
Yeah.
failed. That's a critical success.
Stay down, and Lump will take their shield and just smash them in the face with it hard enough to knock them off their feet for 1 point of bludgeoning damage as well.
Okay.
And then
Takes their head
because
off the corner of the couch.
more people on the ground is more funny, is just going to follow through on the other one.
With another trip.
Yep, another trip. Map -5. 26 to trip.
That's a success.
All right, and then
Oh my
raise
God.
shield again.
They're all just laying on the ground.
Lump said
okay.
stay.
All right,
And
Dunk, what
that's
you got? That's so good.
Seeing the position of these now floored children, he would like to draw in a breath and then exhale a 15-foot cone from the bottom east point. I can do that, right? From the bottom east of his square, and then
Yeah.
the 15
No, the
foot
cone's
cone.
going to start like in the middle of the start of your square. So, but I think you might be okay. So if I draw a cone, real quick. Oh yeah, 15. You're actually not going to hit lump.
Okay. Sweet.
You'll hit the first square in front of you, and then it's the next 3 squares next past that, and then from there again.
Yeah, and he's not too sure if it's going to be super effective, but he's kind of wanting to show off right now. So
Yeah.
that
This is
is
awesome.
going to be.
So what? Just can you describe what happens here? What comes out of your mouth as you do this?
So he's taking from the stone scale kind of heritage. His draconic exemplar is an adamantite dragon, and they have a breath attack called Avalanche Breath. So as he's drawing in his breath, you can just see kind of like small bits of pebbles and rocks almost kind of like forming as he's breathing, and as he exhales, this big like avalanche of stones and boulders comes out of his mouth and just flies at them. And that will be a reflex save, please.
Okay, reflex save from everyone. Okay, so big guy first is going to be a 29. Rolled reasonably well there. And then the little guys are going to be 22 and 16.
Okay, so that is 1 success and 2 failures.
Okay, roll me some damage.
10 blood all around.
Okay,
And then half for the
Minus-
success.
5 for the success, yeah, and then
Third action, somewhat coughing boulders, he's just gonna stab down at the bigger child on the floor.
yeah, I accidentally changed that creature's health to 5 instead of taking the damage. Oh crap! How do I fix that?
Well, hand off the chest piece there, Baron.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so that is your turn.
The breath was the first 2 actions, and then a 28 to hit the large child next to him.
Okay, 20 is going to hit.
15 piercing.
15 piercing. Accidentally gave him all his health back. I'm really fumbling here. And that's you?
That's me.
Is the breath 2 actions, is it?
It is.
Okay. All right, so this creature, how long is the clumsy lasts while I'm immobilized, right?
Correct.
Because of your rooting thing. Oh my god, that is brutal. And well, immobilized, I can't attack, can I?
You can attack. You just can't
Okay.
stand or move. Or,
Yeah. No move actions. No. Okay. Oh man. Want to roll? Oh, Lump and Nirkash. You want to both roll me fortitude saves to see if you can shake off this aura?
34.
I think
You're
I
good?
did, and I failed.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
25.
yeah, 25. Yeah, you failed. Okay. And shoot. Okay. This guy is going to cast a spell. You want to give me a reactive strike? Oh yeah, yeah. Dunk.
Oh yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
Okay. What do you got?
28.
Yeah. Oh, Ruff, you got one too, do you?
26.
Okay, you both hit. I regret this now.
16 piercing.
Ruff.
18 piercing.
Okay, now's your
Fucking
opportunity to
amazing.
describe a tandem kill. How do you go about it?
The tips touch and they just kind of look at each other sheepishly.
I think Ruff pulls his sword out, and Nick Cage sticks the tip in.
Oh, I see what you mean. Pin cushion. Okay.
Dual penetration.
Oh, no, not with the accent. God damn.
Oh, there's the episode title.
Okay, and this thing was trying to meld into stone. You can see it was starting to like cast a spell and go into the floor to get away from you, and you just stop it in its tracks. And Ruff, you're up.
First action, he will enter Arcane Cascade, some of that rhyme staying around as that cold damage continues. Second action, he is going to cast Dimensional Assault, which is a focus spell. So he bamfs behind.
Oh, we're all well aware of dimensional assault.
Yeah. So he bamfs behind the one. So he's flanking with Lump, and the ground in front of Nirkaj has opened up. So that is a 29 to hit on the prone one.
Yep, that hits. That's a crit. Well, prone.
I say the prone one, the one in between us.
Yeah, they're both prone. Yeah.
Nobody's ever allowed to stand near Lump again.
That's 28 piercing and 4 cold.
Okay. It takes extra cold, of course. Oh,
Final
shit.
action.
Big hit.
He will strike again. That is a 17 to hit.
That's going to miss.
That one I'll hero point.
Okay.
That's 23.
That hits.
That is 18 points piercing and 2 points of cold.
Okay, that thing is in tatters. It is nearly destroyed. That's your turn?
That's him. Yep.
Okay. Okay, and the one to the south is going to, in a panic, scramble up from prone. You can reactive strike if you like.
Well, I don't think I can. Do they refresh on my turn or at the
Yes,
top
On
of
your
the
gain
turn.
round?
all your
Yeah,
actions
on your
at the
turn.
top of your turn.
Okay.
Just remember, listeners, literally nothing happens at the top of the round.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I could have used reactive strike the last time then, because I used a reaction to turn back time when he entered the aura.
Well, we're too far past that for me to rewind it, so I'm not going to bother. This combat's almost over. Let's just go on. Go ahead and reactive strike now. Let's get it over with.
26.
Yep.
11 piercing to cold.
Okay, a little extra cold in there. Bam, this thing stands up, and it is going.
So I can reactive strike it too, though, can I? Because it's within reach and I have a spear.
You have a
Yep,
reach
yep.
weapon. Come on.
That's a nat one, so
Okay, good.
But
Stuff it. Not that I want this comment to go on longer, but come on. This is ridiculous. Natural one. 20. It still ended up being a 22. That would have hit. Okay, this thing is going to... it stood up, and you've come at it from both sides, and it is going to try and throw a fist at Raphael here. Natural 20. It pissed off. 28 damage. Roll me a fortitude save, please.
23.
You are okay. Another hit comes in, though, for a 28 to hit.
Also a hit.
10 more damage. Roll me one more fortitude.
17.
That you are not okay.
Uh-oh.
But nothing happens just yet.
Woof.
Tulok, you're up.
All right, Tulok is just going to go... I was going to do something else a little more exciting, but I feel like this is a little bit handled here. So Tulok is just going to send a stone down on the creature that is being... No, the one that's being flanked. Let's just put him out of his fucking misery. Stone comes down from above. 32 to hit.
Ooh, yeah, that's a crit.
Hell yeah, brother.
And that is going to be 34 points of bludgeoning damage.
So,
Nice.
Sorry, you went for the one that was like
In
that's
between
still
them.
flanked?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, dead. Crushed its whole person. Anything else?
And
Any
then
single actions?
I just want to roll a knowledge check on the greater one if we didn't do that already. Just for next
Sure.
time.
You haven't succeeded any knowledge checks on these creatures at all so far.
None,
You don't know anything about them.
Okay, let's do the greater one just in case.
Yeah, go for it.
What do you want me to roll?
It's gonna be occult.
Religion?
Nope, religion.
Damn it. Oof. My occult was literally double the roll, so this is 17, unfortunately, for religion.
You have no idea.
dead kid.
They're obviously undead, but beyond that, no idea.
That's it.
Okay. Top of the round, Lump.
Oh, you know what time it is.
Is it tripping time?
Get back on the ground, buddy.
Is it menace me time?
It's menace at all times.
Menace
time.
o'clock?
Yeah. That is a 26 to knock prone.
Yeah, that works.
All right, and then
Don't even worry about her.
Go ahead and drop a Morning Star down. That is a 7 on the die for a 19.
That's a miss.
All right, and then raise shield and fortitude save. 30.
You're good. You shake
All
off
right.
the water in your lungs. All right, Duncan. What do you got? One left.
Without moving, he's just gonna stab away. Stab the first 23.
That hits.
Oh, it does. Oh,
Yeah. The big one it didn't hit. This one, these ones are a little weaker.
well,
And by a little
that's
weaker, I
what-
mean a lot weaker.
That's what they get for being kids. 16
Yeah.
piercing.
Okay. What else you got?
And then second attack with a map -5 and an advantageous assault. 25. Another hit.
Yep.
Another 11 piercing.
That's all in there. Okay. Anything else? One more action?
Wait, how did you get 11 damage? You should have 5 from strength plus 2 from weapon specialization for 7.
3 from weapon specialization.
Okay, and then plus 4 from the advantageous assault. That's already
Okay.
12.
Yeah, you missed the assault. It's not on there. But
Oh, I
you
take
did
the
roll
box.
a 1 and
Okay.
a 2. You rolled a 1 and a 2, so it's really low damage, yeah. But I took the extra 4 there. Good call, Cam. All right, third action.
I guess just gonna keep stabbing.
Try it again. Might as well.
13. That's not gonna do it.
Not so much, no. Okay, that's you. You're done. Raphael, you're up. Finish this bitch off, will you?
Yeah, first 2 actions will be Dispel Strike since he recharged it last turn, and we'll do the Ray of Frost again.
Okay,
That's a 24 to hit.
that hits.
Okay. That is 19 piercing and 2 cold from the sword, and 16 cold from the Ray of Frost that he charged into it.
God damn.
I'm sure I've asked this before, but you get your arcane cascade damage even after you've because when you spell strike, you don't come out of the stance.
No.
Okay.
The new remaster rules, the only way you come out of a stance is if you dismiss it or if you're knocked prone, I believe.
Or if you
unconscious.
move into a new stance. Yeah. Okay.
Or if you moved into a new stance, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's just so awesome. It really is. Yeah. Want to describe your kill? Your destruction of the undead.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much the same. He just sticks that shifting iron longsword deep into its chest, and the rime begins to spread out from the blade as it freezes him from the inside.
Amazing. Combat subsides. You've taken these strange creatures in this game board in this weird little room where they were just chillaxing in. And after just a
chillaxing?
short amount of
Chillaxia?
time, Ruff, I'd like you to roll me another fortitude save.
How's he feeling, by the way?
We'll know in a second.
It's a 25.
You feel like this sort of like life-sucking kind of presence that like makes you weak in your joints a bit and makes you kind of stagger in on the spot, like you feeling a bit clumsy.
He just sits down into one of these leather armchairs.
Yeah, and you just push through it and you're okay.
So he hit his 30s.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess maybe his late
Shooting
30s.
years?
Oh god. So good.
Well, shooties don't live
Shooting
much
years.
further than 30. Like Arthur is an old man at 36. Like he is on the
Okay.
cusp of death.
I mean, I'm 38, and that's what I feel like. So
Well, you've destroyed these creatures. Ruff has to take a quick sec to recover, and you all have a moment to breathe. And just as you take a moment to take everything in this game board and the scattered pieces, one of you spots amongst the scattering a simple iron key. And that's what we're going to call it. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.